go, another Parawing video, and today we're going to be reviewing two Parawings that I'm very excited about, the Kanaha and the Kanaha. Let's have a look at them. Woo! Little hat. So we have, this is a 3.2 Kanaha, a 2.9 Kaha. Woo! I'm excited about the Kaha. New bag to the BRM as well, so more of a rectangular shape, which I do like. Still having, you know, some breathability in it is nice. There, oh, here we go. Greg's a legend. And then you still have inside the bag the bigger mesh bag, so when it's all wet you can just chuck that in there. But look at this. Wow, that's a small bar. This will be absolutely amazing. Let's have a look at the Kanaha. Same sort of deal. Rectangular bag with the mesh, very nice. Let's have a look at these Parawings. For me personally, the Kaha is what I'm really excited about. I've never ridden a Parawing that is a wave riding specific Parawing, and let's see how well they move around. I'll fly them on the beach for a little bit just to get a little sense of how they look and how they feel, and we'll get into it. Summer's definitely over. Before we go out, let's just see how they react on land and give them a fly on land. The Kaha, 2.9, super small, very responsive. This will be cool to play around. Wow, look at that. That is incredible. Whew. I have so much arm span to go. Wow. That's awesome. Really small. Very small. Really good stability. Look at that. You know, the V1s of the BRM, you wouldn't be able to do this at all. The canopy looks really stable now. And still, you could still, you know, stall it, punch it upwind. No issues with stability anymore. They're awesome. Wow. Oh yeah, definitely looks more higher aspect. See the lines? Much longer lines, but they're not long at all, like compared to other Parawings. Like the Ozone has super long lines. This one looks good. It is a small bar. Look at that. 2 hands, nothing more. Nice. All right, here we go. We are going to be testing the Kaha and the Kanaha in the water now. I'm on the sinker board today, which is an awesome feeling on the Parawing. This is a 5/8 by 20 by 65 liters. I'm going to be using the 980S, and this is a chopped tail, so this is around a 120 tail, along with the 80 mast and short fuse. She is chilly. So cold. Whew, let's get out of here. Yes. All right, getting out to the wind line. We've got plenty of wind today. And I love the feeling of a new Parawing. First time you get it on the water, how does it handle? How does it feel? The stability is still there, very different conditions than we had at the beach when we first tried it. So this is proper gusting, and like the stability is so good.
Just waiting for a good gust. No rush. Here we go. This is a good one. Starting on the single board. Good gust here. Wow. Super easy. Woo, good.
That was amazing. Great bottom end. And look at this top end. You know, over 25 knots. And I'm holding it real controllably. Very controllable. And wow, what a difference from the V1s. Massive. Fully sheeted out. Very stable, guys, very stable.
Help myself. I'm just gonna have to stow this thing. Woo! What is that? Oh my god.
That was the easiest stow, or just depower, let's call it that, I've ever done.
Wow. That's amazing. Great relaunch.
The relaunch is great, as you expect. This fabric on the BRMs, as soon as you depower it, the parawing disappears in your hand.
A little bit more wind up here. 2 hands. Going upwind really well in the Kanaha. Really good lines compared to the wingers. Look at that. Oh my god, so easy. So easy.
And this is a full on, it's 30 knots right now, easy. Fully blowing day. The unpacking of it, because of the short lines, it just becomes incredibly easy to, with less than an arm span, you know, depower this thing and shut it down. That's awesome. And here we go, a relaunch. Going downwind, let it open up. Awesome. Absolutely incredible. I'm holding this wing with one hand in 30 knots right now. 28, 30 knots easy. And whoo! It's blowing and it's so controllable. Well done, Greggy boy.
Very good. Very, very good.
All right, let's go for another depower of the wing.
See the swell? Not this one, the row behind it. Stay on it. Watch the speed. I'm going downwind now. Oh, that easy. And then crosswind again. Wow, really good.
And then because of the material that BRM uses, this thing turns into nothing in your hands. It really packs down in a way that is just incredible. It's night and day when it comes to the packability. Like it's nothing. I don't feel like it's catching wind or, you know, in the way when I'm going downwind or creating any drag. Because if you do have a flappy canopy going downwind, it does create a lot of drag. And this one is just incredible.
Woo!
And I think for some reason as well, it helps with the redeploy. It's a very crispy, very sharp redeploy. It's not sticking the fabric even though it's wet, because I got it completely wet coming into the water. Doesn't create that stickiness in the fabric that some Parawings have and make it harder for it to redeploy. Man, this is a winner. And for me, really, oh, here's the gust. Oh yeah. See, the Kanaha, you still have to lean against it, kind of like, not completely like V1, but a little bit similar, because it does want to punch downwind a little more. So now I can feel it like 35 knot gust now, and I had to really point it up.
Woo. Let's get rid of this gust, it's too much.
Stability wise, which was my little gripe with the V1s, even though it really got us all into it and it was amazing, it was a Parawing with a little bit of a short range and didn't really accept these gusts, and it didn't accept riding on the front lines like these guys do. I'm really excuse me, I'm really leaning on the front lines here, and the thing is rock solid. Alright, I want to stop and do another stow, because I'll just hold my arm span to the arm span that you need to stow, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
So, watching the going downwind, collect the A lines, pull them down. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that arm span is nothing. It's like 60 centimeters, and it's completely out of the way.
I don't know if you understood that, but I think the arm span that you need is like 60 centimeters, and it's completely out of the way. So for women, for kids, you know, people with shorter statures and small arm span, you know, you can't go wrong with this, man. It's absolutely incredible. The easiest thing to depower that I've ever ridden, to be honest. Incredible. Incredible. The relaunch is good. The lines are super small. The fabric is what does what we want it to do, which is just disappear. And it's rock solid, man. So I think I'm ready for the Kanaha. See what that one does, but the Kanaha, geez, what an improvement from the V1s. Let's completely submerge it. See how it does a water restart. So it's completely wet. See how that performs coming up out of the water.
Yeah, no issue, man.
This fabric is insane. I love it. That's it. Thing is dry, ready to roll. Alright, so Kanaha's been completely submerged now as I make the changeover. Let's see how the Kanaha performs.
we can do a
Water start launch straight away because it's been in the water now for over a minute.
little tangle here. Yeah. And one more line right there.
Yeah. I mean, the water relaunch is, yeah, incredible. And again, watch that bar. Completely unsheeted, you know, and the stability is there for the Kanaha as well. First time I fly it in over 25 knots, so a really good indication that this will be awesome. Let's try a sinker start.
Sinker start.
Point downwind.
Hand here on your knees. Put the parawing down. Wait for the gust. Still waiting. Still waiting. Here you go. Here's one. Knee up. Couple humps. Got some seed. Here we go. Yes. Wow, that was super easy. Alright, let's go.
I'm in a bit of a wind shadow here. It's not the best place to jibe, but we got away with it. I can feel a little bit more ease on the gust. Let's see, there's a gust coming. Let's see how it compares on a one-handed with the Kanaha. Yeah, you see, when I sheet out, I almost didn't feel that gust because I prepared for it. I had the parawing sheeted out, and it'll be a little bit easier to absorb these gusts on the Kanaha. Kanaha a little bit more lower aspect. It wants to drive you downwind a little bit more, and you could do, you know, a lot with that if you're a beginner. That helps you heaps. All right, so the Kanaha feels like it is better upwind. I can see how you can get maybe another 10% on it upwind. They ride really well overpowered. Here's a gust. Oh,
Gotta hold it. Woo. Very good on the gust. It drives you upwind.
it feels like the more wind you have with the Kanaha, the more upwind you'll go. Very good. Amazing drive. Let's try to stow it, and it does have slightly longer lines than the Kanaha, and it'll be interesting to see how that feels in comparison on a stow scenario or just a depower scenario, sorry.
So also we're here, start up, slow down, downwind, front lines. Oh yeah, it's so good. Like,
It's still incredibly easy, guys, honestly, because the lines are probably another 10 centimeters longer. It's not that much, and when compared with other parawings out there, it's so much easier. Short lines is really, I think, a game changer for parawings now. I think the V2s should have an easier way to stow, but it also performs a lot better overall. I don't think I lost anything in the bottom end. You know, a 2.9, let's call it a 3 meter, in 25 knots on a sinker board fully geared 4.2 wetsuit. Like it was, I got up first try on both. So I feel like short lines will give you so many more benefits, and obviously the easy of just grabbing those front lines. It's awesome. See that relaunch? There it is. Like, I'm feeling a gust right now, and I can control it with my speed. I'm going slow, redeployed it slow. Woo! It's punchy, but it's so manageable. So manageable.
Look at that jive.
And again, I'm in a wind shadow here just because it's really blowing out there, and I don't want to lose too much of my angle going upwind. So I come into a little wind shadow, do a quick little jibe, short turn, not too much speed, and get out there again. Here we go. Woo! We're in the wind line again now. Like, I'm trying to get the Parawing to deform, but I haven't been able to yet.
Have your hands ready. Go downwind. As you fall. One. Done. That's all you need. With the BRM, that's all you need. Redeploy. Boom. So good.
The one thing that people might not realize is once you depower the wing, what's really hard after that is managing all that fabric in the wind, and the more you keep it out while it's still like a little bit open, the Parawing's still a little bit open, it gets lines tangled. To be able to stow, fold it once, and you're done is so much easier. And I'll show you what I mean right now. So I'm gonna stow, and after I stow, it's just one fold and you're done. Couple bumps, get the last one of the set.
Right downwind, full on the bar. One, done. Like, then you can
put it in the belt. I obviously have the Kanaha in the belt at the moment, so I'm not gonna put it in. But that quickness is what's going to open up wave riding easier, and probably better percentage of, you know, correct redeploys and all that stuff. It's just going to make your time on the water more enjoyable. Like, you can rip on a little wave, and then when you redeploy, woo, that was pointed in the wrong direction, but I saved it.
Go downwind, front lines. There it is. One fold, done.
It's a really windy day, but the bumps are not that big yet because we're right at the top of the bay with very little fetch, but down there it'll be rocking. But this is really good to do a little test out these Parawings, get a feel for them, and fall in love with them, really. This is what I'm feeling right now. You hit it out of the park again, Greg. V2s. Woo!
One hand. So good.
All right, we're back in the van, and wow, what a session that was with those parawings. Everything that I had in my mind of what could be improved has been improved, honestly. From being able to ride in much stronger winds, tick. You know, the wind range in these new parawings is enormous, and where it's actually getting better is on the top end. I don't feel like you can I don't feel like it improved too much on the low end. So getting up on the board, it's probably the same size parawing as before on whatever board you were riding. But what's really incredible now is the amount of power that you can hold on those parawings. And that's where the range is coming from at the moment. So low end, pretty similar. On the high end, I was literally in 35, maybe a little bit more gusts out there, and I was on a 3.2 Kanaha and the 2.9 Kaha, and both of them performed so well. There was no collapse, nothing of that leading edge coming backwards and stalling on the leading edge, collapsing on the leading edge, none of that. That's all gone. And I could hold an edge, and I could really like sheet out, and that thing would just drive up wind. So huge improvement. And I feel like it's almost like a 50% improvement on the V1s, because a 3 meter V1 in 30 knots, you would start feeling the limitation, because you wouldn't be able to sheet out all the way, and if you did, then you would have the collapsing. So look, it's incredible how much you've gained in the range of these parawings. Number two, the line lengths. Like, I don't recall getting a tangle. I think I redeployed once that I had, you know, one line on the bar that I just, you know, pulled out. Otherwise, I can't remember tangling. I spend an hour and a half in the water, and I don't recall a moment where I felt a tangle. Like, you're holding it, it feels like an arm length. It feels like you're just poof, and you get to the leading edge so quick and so easy that stowing it becomes really, really almost natural. As soon as you start going downwind, you pull the lines, it's gone. And I think where people struggle is they pull the lines and they run out of arm because they forget to pull the backhand back. So, you know, to really get all that reach. So with this one, you can literally leave one hand on the bar, pull the bar, like go towards the parawing, and you're on the leading edge. So that's the second thing. Line lengths, both on the Kanaha and the Kaha, incredible. The Kanaha has slightly longer lines, maybe by 10 centimeters, but still very short in comparison to you know, the norm out there and the parawings in the market out there at the moment. So that's number two. Number three, whatever this material is that Greg uses on his parawings is phenomenal, because when you're going for a stow, there's two things that really make a big difference. One is the line lengths. We spoke about that, getting to the leading edge quick and in a sharp movement, and being able to touch that canopy and grab that canopy easy. The second thing is how I'm going to put this, compactable is the material. How prone to getting rid of all that air is the material. So with whatever Greg is using, is as soon as you grab the leading edge and you kind of just hold the leading edge in your hand, you literally run your hand through the parawing and all the air is gone. There's nothing there. And I'm used to a little bit of a thicker canopy, a little bit more material within the canopy itself. So when I was stowing, I would grab the leading edge and literally like kind of hold it down and deflate it, and, you know, fold and deflate, fold and deflate to get it to that really small compact shape for me to put it into the belt. With Greg's Parawings, it's literally pull the lines, grab the leading edge, run your hand through the Parawing, and as soon as I do that, already you get half of it back on, and then hold it, and that's it. So it's literally a 5-second, you know, movement, and it's gone. So look, for those reasons, it's really hard to beat the BRM right now when it comes to stowing, quick stows, wave riding stows. Like, I can see why Greg is going for short lines with the Kanaha and this material, because honestly, like, I could get rid of it like that. Which one do I like more is hard, because where I ride and the style of riding that I do involves a lot of going upwind and short legs upwind and coming downwind. And I enjoy riding that way. I don't enjoy going upwind for 20 minutes. I would rather go and stay in the spot that is the best spot I can find and just do small laps of that. It's less tiring in the arms. On the arms, it's less tiring on the whole body. I don't wear a harness line and all that stuff. So I feel that the Kanaha is still my choice, because the Kanaha will have maybe 10 to 15% better upwind ability. It's not that much, but when you compound that in a session that you're doing, you know, 10 laps, you know, you're getting maybe an extra lap or two, you know, when you're riding with something that goes upwind more efficiently. And I didn't feel the lines, you know, were that much bigger. If anything, I can shorten the lines myself, get rid of that 10 centimeters and give that a go, but then still have a little bit more of that higher aspect. Now let's talk a little bit about the stuff that I didn't like about them. For me, number one, the bar. It's super tiny to the point where I'm like trying to I actually feel like I need a little bit more real estate on the bar. And it could be, you know, adding a little bit more beyond the A lines. I feel like that extra 5 centimeters over the A lines could be extended a little bit to have a little bit more, maybe 3 fingers there. And then extending maybe, you know, I think an inch overall would do so much benefit, because I found myself sometimes having to hold on the lines and then put my hand where I wanted it to go to actually, you know, get the grip that I wanted. So the shorter bar is amazing for stowing, amazing for that stuff, but I think an extra inch would help you with a little bit more real estate on the bar, because it's literally 2 hands and there's nothing else. And then I think the overall user friendliness of what you're getting helps as well. Color-coded lines, you know, color-coded canopy. You know, he has obviously the battens that are in different color. Kind of helps you out there, but you know, for a total beginner, I still would love to see just the leading edge a different color from the white canopy. And I think it also helps you be recognized out there if you're doing downwinders. You know, if you have a white parawing, you're just going to look like, you know, a little white cap out there. So something to consider as well if you're doing downwind runs, you know, have some high vis on you instead of the parawing. But again, I think those are little things that, you know, you really have to weigh up what you're doing. But thanks for watching again this video. I hope it helps you guys understand a little bit more about these BRMs. Absolutely incredible V2s. The jump from V1 to V2 is gigantic. Kudos to Greg. Thanks for sending me those, Greg. Just so everybody knows, they're not mine. I'm sending them back. But Greg, if you want to leave them with me, I wouldn't mind that. Those are really good parawings. Well done, Greg. Thanks for sending those parawings down, mate. And I hope to see you in Hood.